Humans require a number of specific conditions in order to survive on a planet, including a stable atmosphere, a consistent supply of food and water, and a suitable temperature range. These conditions are essential for maintaining human health and well-being, and they must be present in order for a planet to be considered habitable. First and foremost, a planet must have a stable atmosphere that can protect humans from harmful solar radiation, including UV rays and cosmic rays. This can be achieved through the presence of a strong magnetic field and a thick atmosphere that absorbs and scatters these dangerous particles. If the atmosphere of a planet allowed too many UV rays to penetrate, it would have negative effects on human health. UV radiation can cause DNA damage and increase the risk of skin cancer, as well as cause harm to the eyes, leading to cataracts and other eye problems. It can also weaken the immune system, and increase the risk of infections. Exposure to excessive amounts of UV radiation can also have serious effects on other living organisms, such as crops and livestock, which are essential for human survival. It can cause damage to crops, reducing their growth and yield, and it can also harm livestock, reducing their productivity, and increasing their risk of illness and disease. On the other hand, if the atmosphere of a planet didn't allow any UV rays to penetrate, it would have negative effects on human health. UV radiation is essential for the production of vitamin D in the human body, and without adequate exposure, humans would be at risk of vitamin D deficiency. This can lead to a number of health problems, including weakened bones, rickets, and an increased risk of osteoporosis, as well as a reduced ability to fight off infections. In addition to its impact on human health, a lack of UV radiation would also have effects on other living organisms, including plants. UV radiation is necessary for photosynthesis, the process by which plants convert light into energy. Without adequate exposure to UV radiation, plant growth and productivity would be severely impacted, which would have a ripple effect on the entire ecosystem, including humans who rely on plants for food and other resources. The atmosphere must also contain sufficient oxygen to support human respiration, as well as the right balance of other gases such as nitrogen and carbon dioxide. An atmosphere with an improper balance of gases can have significant effects on human health and survival. For example, oxygen levels. Humans require a consistent supply of oxygen to survive, and a lack of sufficient oxygen in the atmosphere can lead to hypoxia, a condition in which the body doesn't receive enough oxygen to function properly. In severe cases, hypoxia can lead to unconsciousness and death. Carbon dioxide levels. While carbon dioxide is necessary for plant growth and the production of oxygen, too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere can lead to climate change, which can have serious impacts on human health and well-being. This includes rising temperatures, which can increase the risk of heat-related illnesses, and changes in precipitation patterns, which can lead to water scarcity and food shortages. Nitrogen levels. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere and is important for maintaining the balance of other gases. However, an excess of nitrogen can lead to nitrogen poisoning, which can cause respiratory problems and other health problems in humans. A proper balance of gases in the atmosphere is essential for human survival and health. An atmosphere that lacks the right balance of gases can lead to a range of negative effects, including hypoxia, carbon dioxide poisoning, nitrogen poisoning, and other health problems. These factors must be carefully considered when assessing the habitability of a planet, and a balance must be struck between protection and the needs of human and other living organisms. Another crucial factor is the availability of food and water. Humans need a consistent supply of both in order to survive, and a planet must have the necessary resources and conditions to support agriculture and other forms of food production. This may include fertile soil, a suitable climate for growing crops, and access to water for irrigation. Temperature is also a major consideration for human habitability. The planet must have a temperature range that is suitable for human survival, and this range may vary depending on other factors such as the planet's distance from its star and the thickness of its atmosphere. In general, temperatures that are too hot or too cold can be harmful to human health, so a planet must be within a certain temperature range in order to be considered habitable. Living on a hot planet can have a range of negative effects on human health. The following are some of the most significant impacts. Heat stress. Excessive heat can cause heat stress, which can lead to dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. These conditions can be life-threatening, especially for people who are elderly, very young, or have underlying health conditions. Air quality. High temperatures can increase the levels of pollutants in the air, such as ozone, which can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat and cause respiratory problems. Water availability. Living on a hot planet can increase the demand for water, as people will need to drink more fluids to stay hydrated. In some cases, this could lead to water scarcity and reduced access to clean water, which can increase the risk of waterborne diseases. Agriculture. High temperatures can reduce crop yields and negatively impact food production, which could lead to food shortages. On the other hand, living on a cold planet can also have a range of negative effects on human health. The following are some of the most significant impacts. Cold stress. Prolonged exposure to cold temperatures can cause cold stress, which can lead to hypothermia, frostbite, and other cold-related illnesses. These conditions can be life-threatening, especially for people who are elderly, very young, or have underlying health conditions. Physical activity. Living on a cold planet can limit outdoor activities, which can lead to a sedentary lifestyle and decreased physical activity, increasing the risk of obesity and related health problems. Vitamin D deficiency. Cold temperatures can limit exposure to sunlight, which is essential for the production of vitamin D in the human body. A lack of vitamin D can lead to a number of health problems, including weakened bones and an increased risk of osteoporosis. Food availability. Just as living on a hot planet, living on a cold planet can reduce crop yields and negatively impact food production, which could lead to food shortages. In addition to these basic requirements, a planet must also have a solid surface that can support human structures and provide a stable foundation for building communities. This may involve considerations such as the presence of tectonic activity, which can impact the stability of the planet's surface, and the safety of human populations. Finally, it is worth considering the potential for other life forms on a planet, as the presence of other life forms can impact human survival in a number of ways. For example, harmful microorganisms or toxic plant life can pose a threat to human health, and the presence of large, dangerous predators can make it difficult for humans to establish a safe and secure habitat. If you enjoy our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay in the know.